Când ajungem la oamenii noi, descoperim varietate extinsă de specii de plante, animale și pești. Printre cei mai cunoscute vieți mai mari se numără delfinii, pești, copii, rufani și medizi. Un alt motiv pentru care Marea noastră este specială este ecosistemul evolutiv, care permite și în prezent apariția unor noi specii plante și pești. Această unanimiune.
Hey crew, welcome to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, your local lightworker. I'm a tarot reader and an astrologer, and I thought I would create a pick-a-card reading today on the topic of guidance for lonely hearts. I know that the majority of my viewers are singles, and I thought that because November is a month that tends to be a little bit heavy on the heart, I just thought I would give you some sort of healing empowerment messages that would maybe bring some light, help you manifest love, and overall just help you accept yourself more and maybe see how wonderful you are as a human being. We will see what messages come through. I have opened up the space for a variety of healing, soothing, self-loving messages to come through. I will be using the Sun and Moon Tarot, and I have a lot of beautiful cards, oracle cards especially, to clarify whatever messages we have from the tarot. Now, I have a choice here for you of 3 different crystals. For group 1, I have here Rhodochrosite. So this is a crystal that grows in abundance in Argentina. I also have here Carnelian for group 2. This is a crystal that grows in abundance in Romania, actually, and Poland, in the Eastern European region. And for group 3, I have here Tiger's Eye. This is an infamous crystal on the same par as amethyst and rose quartz. It's usually associated with masculinity. A lot of men wear a lot of onyx and tiger's eye, and it usually grows in a variety of different parts in the world. I think I got mine from India, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So I don't know why I felt the need to mention the places of origins of these crystals. Maybe I will have viewers, because I know I have viewers from all over the world. So maybe I'll have viewers from these countries, in which case I'm super happy to have you here, guys. My moon in Sagittarius is super happy to be working with people from all parts of the world. It's reaffirming my belief that everything is connected and we are a web of souls here on Earth. So I hope that while I was speaking, you took a moment to look at which of these 3 crystals pulls you in the most. If you're interested in any of the tarot and oracle decks, I always have them linked in the description box below. Also, keep in mind, I have a second channel with chill meditation videos. It's called The Eden Nearby. Also, you can find it in the links below. And right underneath it, there's another link which takes you to my 3rd channel, which is all about astrology. I have a lot of fun series like Astro Hunks, Astro Babes, Astrological Oppositions, and I'm preparing lots more content. So also, if you're curious about reading astrological articles or articles related to witchcraft, to all sorts of things that I'm watching and listening to, you can go and visit my webpage. It's also linked down below. And you also find there a specific tab called my e-shop where you can order personal readings with me. And I have a very special sale throughout the month of November. New clients get a 15% off. It's 15, not 50, because I know some of you wrote me and you got a little bit confused. While returning clients are getting a little bit more because I want to reward you guys for your loyalty. You get a 20% off discount on all of the services provided there, minus the €5 quick help from the divine 3-card spread. That is a service which I have created specifically for those of you who want to get a reading. It's something that will always be priced at €5. It will not change. I have it there. It's standard. Okay. All this being said, I want to also thank you so much for your patronage and your memberships. They mean the world to me. You can become a patron of mine and support this channel for as little as €5 each month, and you get a lot of extra perks and behind the scenes content. Also, thank you so much for everyone who has been showing me tons of love on TikTok and Instagram. Head over there and follow me. It's open and free for everyone, and you can find a lot more short readings and some updates which I am much quicker to, or I'm much better able to give them there, because on YouTube I have to spend a bit more time delivering things unless it's a short. So thank you so much for your love. Thank you for your support. I love you guys. I hope you're doing well. November can be a pretty heavy month. A lot of people, the rate of suicides tends to go up. A lot of people tend to be depressed or sleepier than usual. So I hope you're taking excellent care of yourself. And if you're struggling with something that is unfathomable, I'm always here for you. And also, I prepared this reading for you today. Thank you so much to everyone as well who has been donating for my collection of funds. As you guys know, throughout the month of November, I am giving the entire monetization I am creating on the clips I am releasing. I'm giving it to charities which are doing on the ground work in places of high conflict, like in what's happening at the moment in the Gaza Strip, in Palestine, and also in Ukraine. So help me help others, and I thank you so much for your support if you have already donated. Okay, all this being said, let's jump into your reading. I'm not going to keep you waiting too long. Let's find out what guidance for your lonely heart you need to hear right now. Hey Group 1, welcome to your reading on the topic of guidance for lonely hearts. Let's find out what cards you were dealt. This is for those of you who are drawn to Rhodochrosite. This is a stone that promotes self-love, self-acceptance. It has a very soothing, calm, pink vibration with white streaks, which talk about purity and romance. So first of all, I'm going to jump into your tarot cards, and then I will show you the clarifiers that you got. So let's see. We have here the 9 of Pentacles blocked. We have the 4 of Cups blocked. The Chariot upright. We have the Universe. What a beautiful energy. This is Saturn energy. And the Chariot is Cancer. And we have the Hermit, Virgo energy. Okay, so I already feel like the messages from the tarot cards are coming in. I'm going to read the tarot cards and then I'll show you what clarifiers you got here with the oracle cards. So right off the bat, I'm seeing somebody who's experiencing a sense of loss. Financial loss, but I also feel that the financial loss is connected to a loss of self-worth, a flinching energy regarding your self-esteem, some problems in the way in which you think of yourself, you treat your body, the way in which you think that you are worthy to attain certain things in life. And I feel that because of the sense of losing, I'm even getting like you're losing a little bit of self-respect. It may be that you promised that you would do certain things. You promised to get better. You promised to kind of step into certain good habits. But somehow along the line, you are perceiving yourself as having failed. You're feeling like you're not doing the things you know you should be doing. And this is leading you to feel like you are a failure in terms of acquiring wealth. We have the card of gain and the card of luxury blocked. It's as if you cannot attain a particular sum of money, the good life. You feel like you are blocked from building a strong, solid material foundation. I guess you want to be successful in your profession, you want to be treated with respect, you want to be able to help people that you work with, you want to be able to live in a nice neighborhood, in a good home, with all of the creature comforts around, you want a nice car, you want to live off without debt, or to not have to rely financially on the help of other people. But at the same time, I feel like you're struggling to give those things to yourself. Some of you have an inbuilt belief that you are set up to fail from the beginning of your life, that you can only do it with the help of a partner, that it's not possible for you to do it on your own. And there is a sense of resentment. It's like, why can't I be victorious on my own? Some of you who have chosen this pile are born with Saturn in the sign of Cancer. There are some problems there related to how you nourish yourself, how you nourish your body, how you take care of your emotions, and there may be some separations from a mother figure. There could have been some sort of problems in your family home. You may have grown up in a home that felt restricted, with a mother that was always busy doing something else. And a lot of the problems you are experiencing at the moment, both in terms of your self-worth, self-nourishment, and capacity to live independently without relying on external sources of financial help, they are stemming from your childhood. There are certain beliefs which are blocking you. Certain things you keep telling yourself. You are locked inside of a story that is blocking you from achieving the very things you want. You may tell yourself, I cannot do this on my own. I need to have a partner. Nobody will ever have time for me. I am not good enough. All sorts of things that even when I say them, I already feel like crying, because I feel like each time I say something awful like this, a brick is falling into my heart and it's weighing it down. So I feel you're weighing yourself down energetically, emotionally, physically, with the negative content of your mind. Your mind needs to change. And I see here that you are on the brink of a breakthrough. The world promises success. The Chariot promises that things are going to unblock energetically in your life. They are going to move forward. And let me just bring the cards a little bit closer. I left some space for the oracle cards, but I want you to have a look at them. So let me just unblock this energy for you, shall we? There we go. I want you to really take a good look at this card. Whatever you perceive as a wall in your life, it's just an opportunity for you to climb on top of it and cross it over. And bring a couple of sunflowers with you. Sunflowers, representative of the astrological sign of Leo and the blooming month of August. They represent solar energy, the god Apollo, or the Egyptian god Horus, the light coming through. You are able to overcome any obstacle, but the external obstacles you are encountering in your life are manifested by your burdened mind. You have to relax that mind. You have to have a really good conversation with yourself. Write things down in a letter to yourself. Try to talk to somebody, a professional maybe, that can hold the space for you and can echo back your words and your thoughts, so that you can become increasingly aware of how much harm you are doing to yourself by thinking in a specific way. The world is not cruel, but the thoughts you may have of the world and of yourself in it are cruel. So you have to change them. And you will see, as you gradually change them, you are going to start to feel so much better, both in your body and in the world. And as a consequence, you will have more control over the things around you. You will have more energy to put into the manifestation of your wealth. And you will acquire that wealth, that good life. The luxury you feel is so denied to you. Releasing emotions is important in this process of attaining stability, of feeling safe in the world. If you indeed have a Saturn in Cancer, or just an afflicted Saturn, and you may be a Sun in Cancer, maybe Saturn is sitting in opposition to your Sun, then you need to understand that a lot of the problems around you and a lot of the things that are happening in a negative way in your life are related to an extreme sensitivity to how other people kind of relate to you, to what they say to you. I guess there is a feeling here that most of the things that happen involve you in some way. You may take things too personally, when in reality you could just shrug them off and move forward without limiting yourself, without feeling ultra self-conscious. So working a little bit on heavy emotions that you have been keeping inside of yourself, heavy emotions which you are trying to maybe work through by eating, by having some very strange eating patterns. Either you don't eat or you eat too much. So there is an imbalance here in the way you nourish yourself, in the way in which you have some sort of space in which you feel safe, the home in which you live, the place where you live. Some of you could feel uprooted, like you don't have a place where you belong, like you have to work really hard to feel like you belong someplace. And some of you have problems with the mother figure. The mother figure has certain issues. She either doesn't have time or she never treats you the way you want. And you are learning how to mother yourself. You're learning how to give to yourself what you would like your ideal mother to give to you. And in this process, you're manifesting a lot of relationships that will nurture you back. So, in a way, the fact that the divine has placed you in a difficult connection with all of these aspects, with food, with your home, with your mother, it's a way for you to learn from the ground up, from scratch, what these things mean in your life, and that you have the power to make positive changes, because you do. And there is this beautiful karmic lesson wrapping up in your life at the moment, and you are successful at mastering it. I feel that a lot of you have isolated yourselves due to this this problem, this karmic circle. You may have felt that things go round and round in circles, that you're not finding your way through. But as you can see, the world is flanked by the fixed signs of the zodiac. We have here Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. And these signs talk about a certain stubbornness. I keep myself wrapped up in this circle because I refuse to allow other opinions to change my mind. I refuse to change the way I think. And this is why things keep happening in the same way, and I keep reaching the same conclusion over and over and over and over and over again. And I'm saying this many times so that you could feel literally how burdensome this process is, how tiring and boring it is. So you may have locked yourself away from the world. You may try to keep the world at bay. And this is why your heart may feel a little bit lonely in this period. And that's okay. That's one strategy of coping. Nobody's blaming you for what you are doing at the moment in your life. But I feel you're blaming yourself very harshly. And that's the whole point of these cards. The tarot is showing you here that you can set yourself free. That in reality you have a lot of the resources that you need inside of yourself in order to manifest things that you really want. But the change needs to happen at the level of the mind. And as the mind is aligned with your body, you will start to change your habits. You will start to nourish yourself in a different way, to see obstacles as maybe opportunities with hidden gains. You will start to understand your relationship to the material world in a different way. What does money mean to you? What does having a good life mean to you? What does luxury mean to you? What does being a winner in society mean to you? Why do you crave these things so badly? The Hermit is locking himself away from the world in order to think. The Hermit needs time without distractions and is delving deeply into its solitude in order to make sense of his or her life's experiences. The Hermit works hard at this process. They are not just isolating themselves and, I don't know, destroying themselves, drinking themselves away, or, I don't know, abusing medicine or drugs. The Hermit is here because I feel like if you're going through a pretty solitary period in your life, you are reminded that this is good for you. It's helping to put things into perspective. You need to read, you need to write, you need to contribute to your own self-development in this period. Being isolated, feeling lonely is not a punishment, but it is actually a gift to you. Saturn, the god of time, blocked away any interferences, is slowing things down around you so that you have this precious time to devote to self-study, to introspection. We see here the breath of life, the sound of the universe, the Om. The Om that grounds you, centers you. You have some really grounding energies here with Saturn and Virgo. And again, Virgo is about routines, discipline, and health, the preservation of your body, of the physical vessel into which you incarnated in this existence to learn a lot of karmic lessons. And with Cancer energy here and Virgo energy, again, this is about food, the stomach, how your emotions are processed through your stomach, through your body, how this is affecting your long-term longevity, your skeleton, your foundation. We all know that if we are not healthy, if we don't have energy, we cannot work and we cannot achieve our goals, and things start cracking at the seams. So acknowledging and respecting the fact that you have a body, that your body can oftentimes, through pain and by cracking down, it is showing you where you need to stop a certain behavior, where you need to change your mind, where you need to slow down or take a different approach to what you want to achieve. Let's see right now your clarifying oracle cards. So we have here, plant yourself here, integration, embodiment, grounded action. This card is phenomenal in the roots it is showing us. These deep roots that are talking exactly about this experience of groundedness, of earthing yourself, of making a commitment. And I feel that this commitment is to find a way to keep opened in a world in which you feel that a lot of the things that are happening to you just want you to shrivel in fear in a corner. Do not allow these energies to dominate you. Do not allow external events to impress upon the sovereignty of your being. You are a part of God. God is a part of you. You carry so much inside of you. And if your dialogue with the divine is problematic in this period, it's mostly problematic because you forgot that you have this inner beautiful light, that you can always choose to be the bigger person in any situation, even in the way in which you talk to yourself. Let's keep moving. Okay, we have the energy of Encall, healer, seer, priestess, soul purpose. I cannot stop staring at this card. It is so beautiful. Again, we see here the half moon, Cancerian energy, water, purity, cleansing, getting rid of anything that is affecting you, anything that is against your health, your well-being, any habit, any stressful activity that you have decided to jump into or that you're using as a crutch to support something that is going to destroy itself in time. For example, you work in a job you don't like, it's becoming increasingly stressful, you're not making the decision to leave the job, which you could at any point. You keep making all sorts of excuses, such as I need the money, I need the security, and as a consequence of all the stress and of you hating what you're doing, but you cannot actually let it go, you are maybe eating too much or eating low quality food, you are maybe blocking your creativity, and you're deciding to maybe sleep less, or you can't sleep so well, and there are stomach issues, and there is heart palpitation, and there is fear that is being generated on a regular basis. And your mind may tell itself, I am not afraid, I'm doing well, I'm coping, at least I have a job. But it is something that is blocking you in a cycle of loss, in a fear-based mentality, and it's actually blocking you from achieving prosperity. How can you break this? Trust. Trust that there is more beyond what you already have. Trust that you can do more. Trust that you can earn an income in your existence here on earth in a different way than the way you have done it before. Open up the mind. Open up the mind to new thoughts. Now, we also have here curiosity, apophyllite, Jupiter, activating the energy of prosperity in your life, which means relaxing into joy, believing that things will work out. I don't know how, but they will. That's the beautiful magical thinking of Jupiter, and it's characterizing the signs of Sagittarius and Pisces, its ancient ruler. Visualizing your best life, believing that's going to happen, not putting pressure on how it will happen, just knowing, I know it in my heart, it will happen. I know I'm going to find something better. I am making decisions that are self-protective and self-loving. And no matter how much time passes, in the end, I will be okay. I will fall in line with whatever is meant for me. Also, keeping a constantly curious mind, which means allowing yourself to learn. Whatever happens in your life is not meant to bully you or punish you or castigate you. This is not some sort of reinforcement of how vengeful and cruel existence is. Sometimes we get these thoughts, yeah, definitely. I get them too. A lot of people get them. I'm sure that Buddhist masters got them as well. These thoughts of why is the world so cruel? Why are people treating themselves in this way? Why is there so much pain and sadness and violence? But that's just one part of the thoughts that we could have, and it's just one part of existence. It's not the whole truth. And understanding that you need to move flexibly between such thoughts and more positive ones is going to balance you out immensely. Carry apophyllite in this period if you feel lonely, if you feel heavy, if you're struggling to activate a curious mind, a curious mindset. And go to the Jupiter energy in your birth chart. I don't know why, but I have to say, I'm feeling an itch on the tip of my tongue. Maybe a sense of irreverence needs to happen in your life. Maybe you need to stick out your tongue more, like in the Rolling Stones album. You know, the cover of that famous mouth that is sticking the tongue out. Just a sense of, I'm not going to do what you tell me. I'm not going to be so obedient. A sense of divine, not anger, but more like rebellion. Kind of like a Kalima energy, but a little bit more toned down. I feel like this is what you need in your life. Doing something outside of the box, not conforming so much, believing that things will be okay. Because they will, and you are okay. We also have here happiness, the joy of life, number 14. So I see that spring is a really fortunate time for you. The rabbit here represents fertility, but it also represents somebody with high anxiety. The rabbit is not necessarily a predator, it's more likely a prey. And rabbits are incredibly cute and cuddly, but at the same time they are incredibly fearful. And in a way they are designed to be so fearful and reactive to their environment because their extra tendrils of sensitivity is helping them identify people or animals that could potentially harm them. But then I think that this energy is also taken to an extreme. I feel that if you're working at the moment on a specific goal, if you're trying to achieve a financial outcome and it's not happening, you're being given a period of time to refine and perfect and go over certain details. Spring is going to be a really, really watershed moment for you, where you will see a turn in your finances, a turn in your material energy. So allow the energy of spring to come into your life mentally, even before spring actually manifests physically in your reality, in the weather, in the region where you live in the world. This is also about feeling like whatever you're doing, it's going to be compensated, that nothing you are doing is in vain, because it is not. Whatever you give, whatever you share, whatever you manifest by expressing yourself, will always come back in some way to you. And this is also about trying to understand abundance on a deeper, bigger level, as for example the manifestation of good health. Sure, you may not be a billionaire, but at least your body is safe and sound, at least you're eating well, at least you're feeling safe, or at least these are the things that I see coming into your life. The final card that I have here for you, the Wheeler Dealer. Mix business with pleasure. Yeah, this makes me feel, this is the Page of Wands, and this makes me feel that you really need to schedule some activities that involve more action, more movement. Being outdoors, trekking, hiking, swimming, cycling, playing volleyball, handball, or just walking around more, walking through the streets of your city, exploring new avenues, new pathways, taking driving lessons, getting a bicycle, learning to have this more fun with movement in your life. It will definitely shift the energies around you, and it would also help you mentally, physically, on a hormonal level as well. It will balance you out. So pushing yourself, if you can't do it naturally, just try to push yourself in the direction of movement. Initiate something, even as small as including a 15 minutes walk in your daily routine. And you'll see how gradually you're going to start really enjoying the shedding of old energy which will be created by this movement, and the inner fire, the awakening of your passion inside of your body. And the fire in general, fire on a spiritual level, purifies us of negativity. So grounding into a new routine and becoming an individual that understands the benefits of working hard but also playing hard. So this is the guidance that I have for you, my love. I hope that it's helpful, healing, and empowering. And if you would like a personal reading with me, feel free to get in touch for my services. I cannot wait to see you in my next reading, and take care of your beautiful heart until then. Bye, Group 1. Hi, Group 2. For you, I felt the need to begin your reading by putting some music in the background. It may be that music is part of your healing, your lonely heart journey. Let's see what messages come through for you. I'm also lighting up some incense. Okay, so it feels like new things could be coming in. Let's see. This is for those of you that were drawn to the Carnelian crystal. I'm going to first begin by reading your tarot cards, which I have here, and then I will show you the clarificators from the oracle cards. Okay, so we have here the Lovers, Gemini energy. We also have the Prince of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Young. We also have the Princess of Cups, water sign energy, same age as you. We have the Eight of Pentacles blocked, and we have the Strength card, Nine of Wands. For you, the situation is slightly different than for group one. Group one, I just felt like they were limiting themselves with their thoughts, predominantly due to a lot of issues stemming from their childhood. But I feel like you have gone through a separation from a beloved. There was a relationship in which you felt like you were highly compatible, kindred spirits, two peas in a pod, right? People that had the same wavelength. You just felt like you guys matched very well. It could be in certain cases, twin flame situation in which you felt like the other person was mirroring you very strongly. But something happened and it feels like you decided to split. It may have been that your partner decided to leave, because I'm seeing here a masculine presence on a card. Although we have Taurus energy here, so it may be that your beloved was Taurus or born under the sign, may have had a significant marker in the sign of Taurus touching in your synastry. And I feel like this person took their sweet time to walk away. They didn't just walk overnight. It may have been a connection that either developed slowly, but I'm picking up that it may have ended slowly and quite painfully. There was a certain stubbornness, a certain wall behind which you found yourself trying to love this person, but also feeling like you are not allowed to love this person in some way. A sense of stifled playfulness. We see the dolphin under the sea, and we see here the new moon, a connection that had so much promise, a connection that felt like it was going to lead on to better, more promising things. We see that she's holding a turtle above the water. So something quite slow moving, quite wise, but also quite heavy, quite fearful. Turtles move in a very slow and careful way. They actually are quicker in water than they are on land. If you see them in the water, they're a completely different animal than on land. On land, they're slow and careful, and you kind of feel like you want to rush them. Come on, just move a little bit faster with more energy. But on the water, they swim and they're like a fish. It's phenomenal how fast they are and how more dynamic they seem. So it may have been a problem with the environment. Maybe you guys came from different cultures, you spoke different languages. One of you had to move into the environment of the other person, and they felt like a fish out of water, or a turtle in this case. Playfulness was completely stifled. One of you felt like they couldn't enjoy this connection for whatever reason. In spite of the promises, in spite of the beauty, in spite of the strong attraction and soulful compatibility, it's just it couldn't continue, because one of you was not happy. They were not fulfilled. They weren't feeling like they could enjoy this relationship, like they could have fun. I'm seeing here that there may have been some intimate problems as well. Maybe a problem with arousal, a problem with what you guys did in the bedroom and between the bed sheets. One of you was not happy. The other one may have thought things are a bit too slow and clunky. There was a problem with dynamics, guys. You had a very soulful compatibility. But I'm picking up, even like if I were to read your synastry charts, although I am just assuming because you guys are a large collective, I would say that you had compatible Sun-Moon placements, but you had some problems with your Venus and Mars placements. There may have been an square, an opposition, creating a lot of tension between the two of you. So I see that eventually the connection was abandoned. I see that work was no longer being put into the development of this connection. You may have even come out of this connection with a child, or two of them, because the prince can sometimes represent a child, the princess a teenager. But that may just apply for some of you out there. The Eight of Pentacles blocked also talks about impulsivity, no longer wanting to follow the steps, no longer wanting to do the things as they are. The French expression comme il faut comes to mind. It's like no longer wanting to do that. Wanting to break free, wanting to rebel, wanting to do something that breaks the mold, that comes against tradition, I would say. And now I feel like you're on your own. Now I feel like you have to weather the elements on your own, and you're feeling quite exhausted. You're doing it. It's possible. You're standing your ground. You are living independently, but even my camera has these shifts in energy as it's trying to capture this card. So now you have developed an armor around your body. It's like, I don't care, my heart was broken, I'm going to move forward with my life because I have to. I'm going to live independently. I will take matters into my own hands. But no longer being able to live with an open heart, it's taking a toll on your overall capacity to truly enjoy life. You could be feeling like you're on autopilot, or like you're a robot that wakes up and has to fight with the world. Or you're telling yourself that the world is cruel, that love is not possible. That's it, what's done, it's done. I loved once, I was married once, I was in a connection once. And that's it, what's next? Nothing of what comes next could get closer to your heart, because your heart is momentarily locked behind 9 wands. And whoever dares to come close to you will have to fight off these 9 wands. And by the time they get to your heart, they may be exhausted. There may be no energy left to love you once they get to know you. So you're putting on a very brave face in front of the world. You could have even worked out intensively after the breakup to get what is called the revenge body, to show your partner what they're losing, to make yourself more desirable, at least physically, visibly. But that's again another symptom of trying to find a way to cope with the immense pain of being rejected, the immense pain of losing who you thought was your other half. And sometimes all we need to do is let go and allow the feelings to dissolve in time, process them, feel them, go through the anguish. And I feel like you've been doing a good portion of that, but at the same time I feel like either the demands of life, society, the people around you, or even yourself, you lost patience at some point. You're like, how long am I going to feel this awful? How long am I going to have to process this breakup? Some of you could have said it's been 5, 6, 7, 9 years, and I still am not over this. So you soldiered on. You developed this body armor. You're showing strength. You're showing determination. Nobody can mess with you, but also nobody can reach you emotionally. Not like they used to, at least. Not like you allowed them in the past. When you used to love from the center, now it's like you're loving from the margins, cautiously, with a pole stick. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, it's just I wanted to bring some levity into what is a pretty heavy energy. But to a certain extent, I think you understand the ridiculousness of this plan, because it's keeping you away from that very thing that you want, which is to be loved, to be accepted, and on some level to be helped to cope with the difficulties of living a material, pragmatic life, which we all have to cope with in some way. You are an individual at the moment who is still incredibly passionate, incredibly desirable, but who has lost faith in love. And this is what's keeping your heart from connecting. This is why you feel lonely inside of your heart, because you believe that this is protecting, that this is keeping you away from harm, from being rejected, abandoned, played with. When in reality the true act of strength would be to continue to be loving, to continue to stay open through the pain. But I think that you are understanding this at the moment, and there is a gradual change from an understanding of I will become physically strong and very desirable as a way to protect myself from heartache, from rejection. You're moving from that understanding towards an understanding of what does true emotional strength mean? How do I demonstrate strength in front of adversity? So your current version of yourself is communicating with your old version of yourself regarding what the future version of yourself should look like. Let's replace physical strength. Let's replace this protective wall we have created around us with emotional vulnerability. With telling people that we want them, with telling people that we love them, with asking for help if we need it. Let's let go of this sense of holding up a fortress around ourselves because it's exhausting. Nobody's giving awards for daily strength. It's a bit sad, they should, because I'm sure that you and many other people that have been in similar circumstances would have been deeply empowered by the recognition of the community. But you will get that recognition once you decide to allow other people to get to know you, and once you spend some time getting to know them. So I'm going to unblock this hard work card, because I want you to put in the hard work of tearing down the wall of fear and separation that's keeping you divided, both within your heart but also around other people. I also feel that you may be attracting at the moment situations that reconfirm a sense of rejection and a need for you to be strong and stoic. Like you may impulsively jump into new connections that you feel from the beginning are going to lead to a rejection. You go through the relationship anyway, the person ends up rejecting you because the foundation was not stable from the beginning and you knew it. And then it reconfirms the fact that it's better to be on your own, it's better to be strong. So I want you to replace this energy, and you can of course do it, with more prudence, with a sense of, I just met an individual, I am picking up on certain things that may go wrong. I'm not going to jump into this connection as impulsively as I used to, because I want to break the cycle, which is reconfirming to me that things will indeed go wrong. I want to be careful to pay attention to the details, to treat the person in front of me for who they really are, pragmatically, to look at their actions rather than their words. And slowly, as the connection develops, I will begin to show more and more of myself and more of my passion. I'm not going to play all my cards on the table right off the bat in a desperate attempt to get this person to love me and then have them do exactly the opposite. Walk away because I'm too much. Walk away because they see on some level that I'm trying to sabotage this connection by being overwhelming. We often act from a point of overwhelm, from a point of extreme exuberance, in a way to hide our inner sense of fear. We overcompensate in psychological terms, and it leads to a self-fulfilling prophecy. But you have the power within you at the moment to stop collecting hearts from the tree, or if you want to continue on this path, collect them slowly, gently. There is a little bit of a heartbreaker energy. It's almost as if your heart was broken by a really long or important long-term connection, a significant connection, a marriage, an engagement. And now it's kind of like you took the role unconsciously of the little heartbreaker. You may not even be aware of it. You may think, oh, people are dumping me. but in reality you could walk away even before the connection has started. So let's see, what are the clarifying oracle cards? So we have here getting down to work, money worries. So I feel like you see, you could have a dependent. Most of you have a child already who have chosen this specific option, and you no longer have a partner to support you financially, and you're going to have to step into this energy of hard work, prudence, tending to your money, and becoming a financial authority in your own household, the main provider. And we have here the energy of the Four of Coins. So again, holding on to money, investing it wisely, no longer spending it on frivolities or on dates with people that you know the situation is never going to work out with. And no longer expecting for somebody else to provide you with the abundance you can easily create on your own. It just needs the impetus of a focus from you. So you just need to focus on the hard work, and you just need to believe that the hard work is going to bring you the stability that you want. And then things are going to fall into place. You may receive a job, you may be promoted, things are just going to come about. But if you expect the worst is going to happen to you financially. Now let's see. We have the moon lore, ebb and flow. So a lot of rabbit imagery. We are actually at the moment of when I'm creating this reading in the lunar year of the cat or the rabbit, depending from which culture. I think in Vietnam they celebrate the cat, and in China they celebrate the rabbit. So I see this energy of the lunar year very strongly present here, and of course we're talking about the moon. I think it was Chang'e, which is the Chinese goddess that lives on the moon. A sense of isolation, of preciousness. She was famous for having been incredibly beautiful, and many suitors wanted to get married to her, but she rejected each and every one of them. Well, the story is more complicated than that. You can do some research on your own to check more about the goddess of the moon in Chinese folklore. But ultimately she ended up living on the moon, solitary, only showing her face fully at certain parts of the month. And she is also considered to have a bunny rabbit as a pet that she cuddles and she keeps there with her on the moon. So I don't know, I think that a lot of phrases that are related to man on the moon, woman on the moon, being considered often a lunatic maybe as well. I think that this is just in jest. I don't think anybody considers you mad, but maybe there were people that accused you of that in anger and spite and envy. I don't think it's a case of that. I just think there is a need here to become a little bit more aware of your feelings and of the great capacity you have to control them, to make them work for you, and not to just act on them in the spur of the moment. There is a need here to take things slowly, to rest a bit more, to not want to accomplish so much so quickly because you're burning yourself out and you're exhausting everyone else around you as well. There is a need here for seclusion, rest, privacy, a connection to your dreams, and by exploring your dreams, you're getting more in touch with your inner world. You may have been born with Saturn in the 4th house, which means that you have a deep need to get in touch with your soul through effort, and you also have a deep need to have a family, to have a home, to have some place where you can retreat into safety. And this will certainly be accomplished in your life with effort and in time. Let's see. We also have here boundaries, Labradorite, and the South Node. You're being tested by a lot of karmic partnerships, and these partnerships are a blessing in disguise. They're helping you learn to say no, learn to say this is as far as I'm willing to go. I cannot meet you that halfway. you have to come and meet me too. You are meant to negotiate a lot of convenient arrangements in your life. Part of this could be separating from a loved one and needing to negotiate who's going to take care of the children, for how long, visiting hours, or all sorts of like contractual legal arrangements related to your children, related to the sharing of your goods. But all of this is teaching you about boundaries. Some of you may have been born with a South Node in Capricorn, Saturn on the South Node. Saturn is the one that is teaching us discipline, limits, effort, the need to put in the work in order to achieve something. But oh boy, do we feel amazing once we do it. Once all that hard work pays off, you feel unbreakable. So whatever is falling within your control, you're learning how to master it. And you're learning as well that controlling certain things in your life is not a bad thing. You may have been brought up to feel that it's awful to be controlling. Nobody loves a controlling individual. And while that may be true, in certain parts of life, it is important to keep a watchful eye. If you earn a lot of money, don't allow your relatives to consume it for you. Keep some for yourself. Learn to say no in certain cases. And give to them whatever you choose to give. But there is a balance that needs to be struck there between being too open and being too closed off, too miserly and too generous. And you're learning this. You're learning how to go with the flow and how to maintain and preserve, when to be controlling and when to release, when it's good for you to release. You're learning how to be a mother figure, a lover, and also how to be a provider, almost like a paternal figure to the people in your life, to those that are closest to you. We have here clear waters, clear vision, confirmation, right timing, and the right opportunity. So I see that an opportunity for you to connect with someone from the heart is coming your way. I see as well a really beautiful insight that you will have. You're going to be able to see this person clearly, and they will be able to see you clearly for who you really are, and that is so precious. You may be at the end of a very long and difficult transit of Neptune, somewhere around your ascendant or on your Venus. And I feel that as this transit is wrapping up, or it is being controlled at the moment by its conjunction with Saturn, you are able to see things with clarity. And even though it may be painful to remove the rose-colored glasses from your eyes, at least this is wonderful, because by seeing things clearly, you're able to love them for who they are, and people are able to love you for who you are, no longer projecting onto you fantasies, because you're not a fantasy. You're a human being with real life flesh and blood. You have certain needs, you have a shadow aspect, and you need to be seen for who you are completely, and loved for that, and understood for that. And I see that a beautiful opportunity is coming your way to connect on a clear, honest, and real level with somebody. And the final card that I have for you, the Sun. Joy, enjoyment, life force, success, vitality, play. I just want you to focus on this card and really take it in. Soak up this wonderful light coming into your life. It's almost like an all-seeing, powerful eye radiating light at you. These are the things that are about to manifest in your life. Your lonely heart is going to be soothed by joy. You will be able to find enjoyment. You'll be able to like your circumstances better, to feel like, hey, where I am, it's actually really nice. I feel proud of myself. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling happy in my body. It's good to be inside of me. You're going to want to do more fun stuff. You will schedule more fun stuff. You will be invited to more fun events, to do more fun activities. And there will be a healing of your broken inner child. If that was the case, if you felt wounded in your capacity to express yourself, get ready for a very playful period in your life. I'm seeing here Leo energy as being incredibly good for you in this period. And if you're struggling to find inner peace, you may want to have some labradorite around you. It is a crystal that looks like this. And it is incredibly soothing and clearing. It almost looks like the bottom of the ocean, I would say, or a piece of water, a piece of land that is covered by water. Sorry, I was trying to not say something silly. Well, all this being said, this is the reading that I had for you. I hope you have enjoyed this guidance for your beautiful and maybe lonely heart in this period. I hope this helps, heals, and empowers you. And if you'd like to get in touch with me for a personal reading, feel free to do so. I am open in this period and I have a sale. So thank you so much, and I cannot wait to see you until next time. Take care of your beautiful heart. Bye. Hi Group 6, welcome to your guidance for the Lonely Hearts reading. This is for those of you that were drawn to this really soothing, earthy, sensual tiger's eye. So I need to tell you that in between your reading and Group 2's, I had to take a break and make myself a cup of coffee with milk, and I put some brown sugar in it. I normally don't drink my coffee with brown sugar, so I feel like you may be either very tired or in need of a sweet treat. You may have been feeling like situations in your life were quite bitter, quite salty, nasty. And I have a feeling that it could be that your loneliness at the moment is something that you've developed as a defense mechanism against the harshness of your personal relationships or your life circumstances. I'll continue to take sips from my coffee. Feel free to join me as well throughout your reading. I'm going to take my time with this reading. I will dive first into the tarot cards that I have here, and then I'll show you the clarifiers from the oracle deck. I'm feeling a really overwhelming, almost overpowering feeling of tiredness with your group. It could be that you're mildly in a case of burnout. You may be in need of a holiday or just to get some extra sleep. I have been receiving a lot of messages on Instagram, especially from you, my loves, telling me how tired you are in this period, how in need of rest, and some of you have been actually struggling to sleep because of racing thoughts. So on whichever end of the spectrum you may find yourself, I'm here to give you something soothing, healing, and empowering. And I hope that you can take this reading and listen to it before you go to bed. I promise you there won't be anything shocking, and even if there are maybe some sad messages, I'll find a way to find the light within them. That's my job. So, all this being said, let's see the tarot cards that you got. We have the Seven of Cups blocked, and the key word here is debauch. We have the Hanged Man blocked, Neptune. We have the Hierophant blocked, Taurus. We have the Six of Cups blocked, Pleasure. Oh, I'm so happy to see an upright card, and it is probably the best, the Sun. One of my favorite cards in the Major Arcana. Leo energy, the light, light worker activation, happiness, being yourself, and having this recognized by other people. So that's the outcome. But what is happening here? You're definitely not feeling like yourself. You refuse to let go of something that is harming you. I feel like you may have tried to see your circumstances from a different viewpoint, but you haven't detached enough. You haven't removed distractions enough for you to really listen to your inner voice, your inner calling. If you make enough stillness and silence around you, you'll be able to hear yourself from the inside out. Not necessarily through your thoughts. It's kind of like when you hear your inner voice, that twinge of intuition, it's kind of like you feel it in your whole body. Like you feel something from the stomach rising up, you feel your heart being active, or you're genuinely focusing on the heartbeats in your body, because we tend to take those for granted even though our heart beats constantly. So I feel like you need stillness, you need silence. Your solitude is trying to give you clues to help you get out of confining circumstances. Revel in it, enjoy it, ask it to expand in your life so that you may hear your inner calling. There has been an excess in your life which suddenly had to be stopped. A lot of options, a lot of playful situations, a lot of moments of pleasure that led to nothing substantial. Nothing consistent. You took a very rebellious approach to things. You tried to do things too much outside of the box. You're very different from group 1. It feels like here there was an energy of maybe a fear of missing out, filling a void with partying, or going out on a lot of dates, on a lot of romantic pursuits in order to find the one, and in the end coming up empty. Feeling used, feeling like this is not fun, this is not pleasure, this is not what I really want, what's happening here? Looking for a commitment, but also being completely detached from that commitment. Wanting something that you think is good for yourself, but it's actually not what will make you happy in this period. It's not something you're ready for. The silence, the solitude is helping you see that. It's bringing you these moments of deep awareness. This is what I want. This is what I feel I should do next. Now that past experience I kept mulling over, now I see what it's bringing into my life, what it means, what it's trying to show me. I feel that you need to hear that you are not meant to live through your relationships at the moment. You're not meant to focus on other people. You're in a part of your life in which you are refining who you really are. You're figuring out your personality. I feel like you may have had either an upbringing where your personality was repressed, where you couldn't express your likes and dislikes. You had certain family dynamics that kept you controlled, or like you had to be incredibly obedient, and that was it, that's how you demonstrated you were worthy or valuable in the eyes of your family. You just had to be obedient and do what you're told. Nobody had time for your personality. And you may have gone through a period in which you were just like, you know what, F this, I'm just going to do whatever I want, throw the baby with the bathwater, as they say, and I'm gonna go wild. I'm gonna pursue who I want. I'm going to just dive straight into it. But I feel like I'm catching you at the moment with this reading at the leg end of this experience, where you are already frazzled, where you are already like, oh, adventure, I'm sick of it. Options, oh, please spare me. I feel like there is a need for you to kind of process everything that has happened in your life. But you are refusing to allow solitude to flood you. And that's exactly what you need. You need time on your own, away from others and their opinions and their energies. And you need to put effort into seeing reality and the choices you are making, the people in your life, exactly on the opposite spectrum of how you used to see them. I'm hearing that I need to tell you to doubt everything. You may have been too gullible in the past, too easily misled. Your purity was seen as naivety and was used against you. Somebody may have even profited off of you with the Hierophant blocked here. But I'm hearing that most of it is due to some sort of received religious upbringing. A religious understanding which could have been, instead of being spiritual and nourishing as religious upbringings should be, instead of giving you a strong moral code, it was confining, abusive, limiting. And it may have led even to some sort of like dysregulated mental health compass, where you find yourself tuning in and out of moments of consciousness, where there's a need for you to escape. And there may even be some small delusions occasionally, especially if you had a really tiring period, especially if you're struggling to sleep or something triggered you, and especially if you ingested some sort of substances that affect your capacity to think clearly. I'm going to unblock this energy. I want you to be able to let go. Sacrificing something is going to give you the peace of mind and the knowledge, the awareness you are looking for. I wanted to say you're desperately looking for, but I'm not sure if all of you fit into the category of desperate. Some of you are desperately seeking an answer to the unconscious behaviors you have recently fallen prey to. You may find yourself doing certain things and you don't know why you're doing them. That is a sure indication that the unconscious, your shadow, is in control. And it's a pretty dangerous position to be in, because you may end up doing, saying, feeling things that may end up harming you and those around you. So I would say very strongly that this is a good period for you to reconnect with yourself, with the past, to find a safe space where you can discover the pleasure of being yourself, of making yourself whole. The full moon somehow has a really important energy in your life. If you pay attention to the upcoming full moon cycles from the moment when you stumble upon this reading, I feel like they will illuminate a lot of the problems you are struggling with. If you're struggling to sleep, it could be connected to some sort of trauma experienced in the past. Work with the energy of the full moon, set intentions, clear space, journal, and ask for the trauma, the root of the trauma, to be revealed to you in a dream. Ask for insights and indication. Ask Spirit to give you signs and synchronicities to point you in the direction of the people you can talk to, the books you can read, the podcast you can listen to, the YouTube clips you should see, the mentors, the spiritual guides, the religious maybe pastors or preachers that could help you get to the bottom of this. Because you will be successful. I'm not going to unblock the energy of the Seven of Cups, because I think this will bring so much more confusion and cloudiness in your life. You just need to be aware that if you're currently feeling limited, it's good for you. There was an energy of excess that was leading you towards ill health and like something that you will carry with you for a long period of time. Maybe getting an STD, for example, or like an infertility issue that developed. There's just something here about an excess being suddenly cut to protect you from yourself. With both the Seven of Cups and the Hanged Man, one next to the other, this is the energy of Neptune, illusions, dreams, disappointments, creating a film in your mind of who you really are, but not really seeing the truth. Not really being able to take in the truth, because the truth may be far too painful for you to process. This is a wonderful period for you to come to terms with who you are, to make friends with yourself, to hold your hand and be your best guide, your best teacher, your best disciplinator even. You need to stick to certain goals which you impose upon yourself and not back down. The way you will meet those goals is going to determine the relationship you have with yourself. If you say to yourself, I will finish reading a book, and you don't, you're going to disappoint yourself. And you will carry a negative self-image. I'm giving the example of a book, but it could also be, I'm going to pay back this debt. I'm going to repair my relationship with a parent. I'm going to tell my lover I'm sorry or that I love them. I'm going to invest more time in taking care of my child. I'm going to do what's right, what's good for me, what I hear that my inner voice is compelling me to do. I think you should also trust yourself more. Some of you are afraid of actually listening to what your self is saying that you should do. Some of you maybe feel like you have these overwhelming self-destructive thoughts. Maybe your inner self is telling you, eat a gigantic piece of chocolate cake and then throw up. And you're afraid of listening to your inner voice because you're afraid it's going to lead you into excess, into drama, into fights, conflicts, argument, problems with the law. But on the contrary, that's not your inner calling, that's not your intuition, that's ego. That's fear, that's anxiety, that's stress that is leading you towards such activities. That's the shadow taking you over. Whatever you think, I'm not that, I don't want to deal with, I'm okay, I don't care. Those are how you amplify the shadow. Those are the small thoughts that you maybe say to yourself on a daily basis, and this shadow becomes bigger and bigger, and like a demonic energy that attaches itself to you. It colors your aura in a negative light, and it brings a lot of misfortune. Sacrifice it, hang it up a tree, wash it really well, hang it up a tree. I'm just giving you some imagery to help you pierce through the illusion. Reality can sometimes actually be more sobering and beautiful than the dreams we make up. I'm going to say it again. Reality can be often more beautiful than the dreams we make up. Especially if you've been going through a period where your dreams were nightmares. There's safety in reality. There's a hint of serotonin, adrenaline, that gets completely like detached in your body when you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm okay, it was just a nightmare. And I think you're learning this. Whatever mechanisms you had to develop in the past, whatever moments you had to dissociate yourself from or escape or split from your body, I feel like you're learning right now how to understand what has been happening to you. Some of you have this deep problem with accessing spiritual states, with praying, with thinking about your dreams. You may be feeling sick when you're trying to do these activities. As soon as you try to get in touch with emotion work, spirituality, you could freak out, you could have panic attacks, you could feel like you're dissociated from your body. But that's just a sign of the trauma that happened as it is nearing the point of healing. Almost like a really nasty scab has been created over a physical wound. To protect it from bleeding further, you have to take away the scab and put some fresh ointment on it so that the wound finally heals. You can't just live with that scab, and that's your body freaking out from being connected back with the mind. Your whole self is coming into alignment, and you could freak out because you got so accustomed with living in a dissociated state or in a split state. So allow emotion to pass through your body and focus on your breath. That's the first thing you should focus on. If you freak out, breathe, 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 breathe. Almost like when you are doing yoga and you're pushing the limits of your body, you're stretching yourself, and it's a little bit painful. The first thing your yoga master is going to say, are you breathing? Are you focusing on your breathing? And the more you breathe, the more you see that the pain elongates. It starts to diminish. You're holding your pose, you're breathing, you're stretching, you're growing. But you have to breathe through the pain in order to grow, in order to stretch. If not, it's just going to stay a knotted clump of nerves and pain. Having said this, I felt the need to take a breath with you. Let me show you your oracle cards right now. Perseverance, a positive outlook. No matter what happens in your life, never give up hope. Never give up thinking everything will be okay. I am okay. I will get up and keep going. Make this the whole purpose and meaning of your life. My purpose in life is to keep moving forward. My purpose in life is to never give up. My purpose in life is to always believe I am the light and the light is here. Because it's evident. Look, it's on the table. You are the light and the light is here. And you will be loved and you will find love and you will be able to be yourself and to express yourself. Keep persevering. If people don't listen to you, repeat again. Never give up. Say it with kindness. Say it until you get sick. But keep saying it. Keep doing it. Keep being you. There is value in that. The second bloom. A second chance. It's never too late. New possibilities. There we go. Even if your heart was broken, even if you tried a lot of things and nothing worked out, you went on 10 dates, you tried 2 relationships, you got your heart broken once or twice. So what? It's hard to say that, but you have to say it. So what? I will keep moving forward. There's a second bloom in store for me. Even in nature, in agriculture, sometimes you have a first harvest and then all of a sudden you have a second harvest, and sometimes farmers have even heard of something called a third harvest. Flowers often bloom even in November and December. Don't give up. Just because the climate is harsh, that doesn't mean that your life has to be. Bloom, grow, open through the pain, and it will stop becoming painful eventually. The Isle of Avalon, healing, returning to wholeness, transformation. It could be that Arthurian legends and Arthurian lore, the Knights of the Templars, Excalibur, all of those things, anything related to that mythological part of the world and that culture, that heritage. It could be that this will be very healing for you. So try to maybe listen to music that is connected somehow to Avalon. Get in touch with the gods and goddesses, the energies of that time. Maybe watch some movies about King Arthur. I think there was a really good one, a really good Hollywood adaptation with Sean Connery and Richard Gere, if I'm not mistaken. Watch that one, for example. Dive into this energy temporarily, because I feel that you may be deeply soothed by it. Maybe even listen to some sort of music. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, a musical environment that is connected to the energy of Avalon. You're becoming yourself again after something that split you. You're transforming, so allow this process to see you through. Don't try to put the brakes before you're ready to reach your destination. It's kind of like you are taking the risk to use a sleigh to go down an icy hill. Once you committed to the idea, okay, I'm going to use my sleigh to go down through the snow and through the ice, go with it. Once you jumped on the sleigh, go with it. Allow it to take you to the destination. If you put the brake on too soon, if you freak out in the middle of the process, it will hurt you. It will split you. It will cause an accident again, and you're going to have to climb the hill back up with probably some wounds on your body, get back on the sleigh again and try it, because you have to reach the destination. And whether you're going to go through it smoothly by committing to it fully and allowing the transformation to just take place, or whether you're going to stop, get hurt, have some accidents, go back up and try it again, that's up to you. But the transformation is here. You are becoming whole. It's inevitably beautiful. And then we have the emerald, which is the crystal with whom you can work in this period, or any other green colored stone. If the emerald is too hard to find or too expensive to procure, feel free to use jade as a replacement. You see, they're quite similar and both quite lucky, and both are the stones of the sign of Taurus. You may be a Taurus if you chose this group, Leo or Pisces. Cognizance, Mercury. You are learning so much in this period. I think you're like the foremost student of life, and you should see yourself in this way. Nobody is giving out awards for adulting. You don't have to adult so quickly. What you need to do is to keep an open, curious mind and to absorb information. Get to know who you are, get to know what you like, what you dislike, what your dreams are telling you. Talk to people about identity, about how they discover who they are and what they want to be in life. Ask questions related to that. Compare, contrast, analyze. Read books on personal development. Biographies would be amazing for you to dive into in this period. The biographies of the people you feel drawn to. Even if you feel drawn to Paris Hilton, for example, as a personality, there may be something in Paris Hilton's chart which strongly pulls you towards her. Read her autobiography. Or, I don't know, maybe the autobiography of Napoleon. Whatever. I'm just saying some names, random names. You know better who are the role models that you feel drawn towards. You should go towards them without shame and without feeling like you should be reading what all of your other friends are reading. And the final card that I have here for you, we have the energy of the free spirit. Be your own person. I'm gonna take a sip of the sweet coffee. I also put some cinnamon in it from my cat cup. We're going back to the sweetness that we began your reading with. You're liberating yourself. You're becoming who you really are. Maybe after a lifetime's work. You could have Pluto in the first house, Saturn. You may have gone through certain deaths and rebirths, symbolically of course. But if you have Pluto, for example, that's urging you to transform, with Pluto you should always know that whatever you are compelled to let go of, whatever you find painful to change it anyway, because something so much better will take its place. Plutonics are usually people who are so afraid of letting go of what they know. But once they do, they find that better is coming. A better person, a higher vibrational experience, a better job, a feeling that life is meaningful again. So let go of the fear and allow the transformation to happen. If you have Saturn there, I feel like the reward for all of the hard work you've been putting in, knowing yourself, establishing good relationships, asking tough questions, having those difficult conversations, reading, learning, studying, that reward is coming. Saturn always gives you a reward. It's slow to build. It requires effort to achieve, but whatever Saturn gives you is long-lasting, and nobody can take it away from you. My beautiful group 3, you're becoming this gorgeous free spirit, this free thinker that I guess on some level you've always wanted to become. The sun is here in your life to heal your lonely heart, to bring you closer to somebody that could see you and appreciate you for who you really are, not for the illusion or the fantasy that they want you to be. This is the reading that I have for you. I'm going to stop here. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you found this to be soothing, healing, and empowering. If you would like to get in touch with me for a personal reading, feel free to do so. The second link in the description box takes you there. Also, take advantage of the sale that I have this month in November. Until next time, I hope you're going to take great care of your beautiful heart and enjoy some sweet coffee, if that is your fancy. See you then. Bye.
Thank you.